Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash, Mr. Krishnan Nair, Ms. Virushka Putta, Ms. Cheryl Banwarilal, Ms. Kavita Solanki, ICCR scholars. Namaskar, dear guests and online participants. It gives me great pleasure welcoming you all to today's special occasion of the 70th Foundation Day of ICCR, which was commenced on the 9th of April 2020. Introduce the program, I would like to call upon my colleague, Ms. Cheryl Banwarilal, to render her introductory remarks on ICCR.
ICCR was founded in 1950 by India's first education minister, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, with the objective of fostering and strengthening cultural relations and mutual understanding between India and the world, and to promote cultural exchanges with other countries and people. During the last 7 decades, the functioning of ICCR as an institution has acquired newer dimensions towards promotion of India's cultural heritage and has emerged as a soft power arm of the Ministry of External Affairs through an array of well-designed and targeted programs. A wide range of ICCR's cultural and academic and intellectual exchanges and promotion of India's culture abroad encompass various outreach activities through its 39 centers abroad and 19 regional offices within India, including art, history, tradition, dance, music, yoga, language, food, festivals, and contemporary issues. Major programming under the ambit of ICCR being conducted with the larger objective of creating an enlightened understanding of Indian culture among the global community. Over the years, to this cross-fertilization of ideas and cultures, ICCR has taken over the millennia-old civilizational and cultural values to the world and had fostered the goal of Vasudevaya Kutumbakam. The world is a family. The strong cadre of ICCR alumni who are infused with the same spirit of enlightened globalization has been instrumental in spreading ICCR's message. The Council now annually offers 4,000 scholarships for undergrad, postgrad, PhD, postdoctoral fellowships in various Indian universities and institutions, the Indian culture and civilization. Since time, India has attracted knowledge seekers and inquisitive minds from all over the world. India continues to be the center for learning and promoting academic exchanges through conferences, seminars, chairs of Indian studies, and activities of alumni of Indian institutions. 7 decades of their existence is a matter of pride and joy. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic that we face, ICCR will mark this occasion of its 70th Foundation Day on the 9th of April by undertaking various online activities in India and abroad. Kindly follow the ICCR Facebook page for these activities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl G, for that on ICCR. Without further ado, our first guest speaker for today's program is Mr. Nair. Mr. Nair started his journey in the year 1986 at the renowned Kalakshetra College of Fine Arts and was awarded an ICCR scholarship. Ninji graduated in the year 1991 and returned to South Africa as the first male teacher of Bharatanatyam. On his return to SA, he assisted many dance schools and later as a presenter on the radio station Lotus FM. To date, Krishnan G runs his own digital marketing company. I welcome Mr. Krishnan Nair.
Namaskar, everyone. I would love to firstly thank the ICCR for giving me the opportunity on this auspicious occasion the 70th foundation celebration. In 1986, I began my journey to the renowned Kalakshetra College of Fine Arts in Madras, at that point in time, now known as Chennai. And during my first year of study, excuse me, during my first year of study, I made contact with some people in India that soon became very close friends of mine, because at that point in time, I had no knowledge that ICCR existed and that the ICCR does offer scholarships to deserving students. So luckily for me, at the end of my first year of being at Kalakshetra, I applied, I was successful, and I was given the scholarship for the remaining of my 5-year study at the institution. I must say that I received the fees timeously. It was something that I used to really look forward to at the end of the month, because it sustained me for the entire month. Whatever I did receive sustained me to purchase books, not only food and college fees, but for other curricular activities as well. After graduating in 1991, I returned to South Africa with much acclaim and applause from enamored fans who were waiting for me to perform. So all of those wonderful things happened for just 6 months. There was performing, there was holding dance lectures and performing at various schools, as well as tuition. But this was severed by a major motor vehicle accident 6 months after my return that brought my career to an end. But I looked at it as a challenge, because I really wanted to get back onto my feet. It took me 3 years to do that, but unfortunately I could not perform, I could not use my legs. But it did not stop me from teaching, from imparting the knowledge to those that were interested in learning. And but from time to time, I did make contact with the ICCR, and although I could not offer my services to them, but there was some connection over the years. And in 2012, we did engage in a dance workshop, which ran for 10 days. But unfortunately, that could not be sustained in the coming years. But of recent, I did make contact with Dr. Yogi. He was very, very receptive, very willing to listen to what I had to say in trying to keep the standard, not only about Bharatanatyam, but of the arts. Because as we know right now, the world realizes that the arts and culture is one thing that they can hang on to. It is something that we need to put into action, put into practice once the lockdown is uplifted. So I encourage everybody, not only a colleague of mine, Barushka, but she does a fantastic job year on year. And I think that once we come together and work as one, because we know the importance of being one. We know the importance of being a family, of staying together, because that is one thing that we can hold on to. And the ICCR, I'm sure, will give us that lending hand once again, to give the local artists a platform, not only locally, but internationally as well. And if we are looking at those that we look up to, the artists that we look up to in India, to have them come down and also to impart and teach our interested talent as well. So I think that there are great opportunities that lie ahead of us. We must take advantage of it, and we must carry on. And I think that we owe, I'm talking, let me talk about myself. I think that I owe a lot to the ICCR, because if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the organization, I would have not have completed those 5 years of study, because my parents could not afford it at that time. I mean, at that time it was, I think about college fees was about 400 rands for the entire year, and we could not afford it, or maybe more. I stand to be corrected, but it was a very compared to today. But we owe it to the ICCR, and I think that together we would be able to make a difference. Dr. Yogi, the ICCR, thank you so much, and I wish you many more years of bringing the global arts and culture together. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best. Wish you a happy weekend, and stay safe, stay indoors. God bless you.
Thank you, Krishnanji, for sharing your inspiring story with us. Next, we have a cultural dance performance by Ms. Shanice Naika, who is an ICCR Scholar of the Year 2018. She has obtained her BA degree in dance at the Rabindra Bharati University. I now present to you Ms. Shanice Naika performing a Kuchipudi dance. Thank you so much, Shanice Ji, for that beautiful performance. Our next speaker is a woman who needs no introduction. Srimati Virushka Patta. At the tender age of 18, Virushka Ji was the first fellow to receive the ICCR scholarship in the year 1996. Her journey was 6 years long in India and gave her endless opportunities to present dance both in India, South Africa, and abroad. Currently, she is the director of the Natyananda Dance School and the brainchild of Zarasa, a web portal listing. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I hand you over to Ms. Varishka Pathak for remarks.
Namaskar. Firstly, I'd like to say a very special thank you to our Honorable Consul General of India to Devon, Shri Anish Rajan, and the Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, our very special Dr. Chaitanya Yogi. Thank you for giving us all an opportunity to still celebrate our past, our current situation, and obviously our future as artists, and honoring ICCR Foundation anniversary in such a special way. I think with our situation, it's almost a breath of fresh air to see everybody, as well as share special stories about our journey with ICCR. I'm eternally grateful to all that know me. I am a dance artist, and I'm only who I am today because of ICCR. I received a fellowship in 1996 and had the great opportunity of traveling to South India, to Chennai, where I became a disciple of the Dhananjans at their premier institute, Bharata Kalanjali in Chennai. My journey has been a phenomenal journey. When my guru speaks of me and my scholarship, he says, Varushka has been the one student in my school that has used her scholarship to the best of her ability. I've had great opportunities while I was a student to be a leader to other foreign students coming into Chennai to study. I've traveled to Delhi, I've spoken on art, I've spoken on foreign artists traveling and being in the country while I was still a student as 18, 19 years old. I've traveled on my return to South Africa. I had the first program, my first debut program was with my gurus in South Africa with our local artists that started a journey for me in South Africa, where I started working with the local musicians. Now we are a family of artists that because of this great art that we have imbibed within ourselves and found ourselves through this art from India, we've brought all of that back into our lives, into our families, into our country, and to every country that we travel to. I proudly carry and adorn myself with this honor of receiving a fellowship from ICCR and being a graduate that has not just taken something from India, but I live my life as a cultural ambassador, representing India and South Africa. ICCR, I would say, when I listened to Cheryl speak about the vision and mission that was written 70 years ago, ICCR has truly lived up to every part of ensuring that India is acknowledged at a global level, not just from its massive economy and IT, but us as artists. And look at today in this current situation, musicians all over the world, dancers all over the world are still able to share and bring people together. And you know, my master would always say, art brings hearts together. So ICCR has really given India global exposure. There's thousands of artists all over the world that share a bit of India in every corner of the world. My dear respected senior and Sri Krishna Naya and myself and many, many great, great artists in South Africa are just few of many that share a bit of India around the world. This global exposure has now allowed artists to merge, to come together, to look at how art is progressing, how art has moved along with the times. All of us may be traditionalists, but it's also how we've adapted and incorporated the art into our current lives, the countries that we live in, and the environment that we are brought up in. So ICCR has allowed us to meet and interact with artists from all over the world. When we travel back into India or into Europe or into the UK and we meet other fellow artists, we all are progressive because we've all started off with a great cultural lineage and a traditional Guru Sishya Parampara. But it's also the mindset, this evolving mind and this evolving universe that's allowing us to create phenomenal work in the arts. This, I think, my pranams go to the first person that chose to write that vision of ICCR, because this global exposure has made a significant contribution to the sustenance and the propagation of art throughout the world. Classical arts, contemporary arts, folk art is loved and thrives all over the world, and definitely brings joy. I mean, look at us today. It's even just speaking of our art makes us feel so connected because of our love for India, because of our love for the art. So I think artists all over the world have made a significant contribution because they believe that the arts is definitely bigger than all of us, and it's thriving. It's going to excel beyond our imagination, but it's for us to enjoy the bliss currently, to enjoy the moment that we're in at the moment, and just know that that's the flow. And where I am now, or where great gurus are now, they'll be at a different space in 5 years' time. That's how the art progresses. That is how the universe and life progresses. So my pranams to everybody sitting up in high places in the Ministry of Art and Culture, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right to our Director of ICCR in Delhi. Thank you to everyone that contributes to an innocent child's life starting at 17, 18, and thinking they're going to experience something new, and then they end up changing their whole life, and that's where their lives begin. So thank you. I was 17 when I left to India in 1996. I came back in 2002, and my life has never been the same since then. But I'm so grateful to be blessed to be a dancer. And I just wish that every artist around the world knows that they belong to a great big family. And the art is something that will always keep us alive, keep us thriving, and keep our souls elevated. So my pranams to everybody, and be safe and be happy and keep dancing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Varishka ji. You definitely do inspire us, not only through these remarks, but through your dance. We definitely feel that intense connection when you set that stage ablaze. Our next performance is by ICCR scholar Ms. Kranti Singh, who will now be rendering a Kathak piece. Ms. Kranti Singh. Thank you so much, Kranti ji, for that beautiful performance. Next, we have aspiring South African ICCR scholars to deliver messages on their experiences of being scholars. I present to you three very aspiring young ladies, Ms. Sitimbele Buthelezi, Ms. Sipilele Tembeka Tembe, Ms. Mikhaila Chetty.
Everyone, my name is Percy Tletembe from Mangozawamhlabialingani. I was one of the ICR students who were lucky to be selected to go and study in India. I did my undergraduate in India from 2013 to 2016, and I came back home and stayed here for a year and went back again in India to do masters in psychology from 2017 to 2019. Now I'm home just hustling like other people who studied here in South Africa. It was so nice to stay in India, learning new things, be in a new environment, staying with Indians and other Africans from different countries, learning new languages, different cultures. It was so nice. I had a great time indeed. I would just like to wish a ICSR scholarship a happy Foundation Day. Thank you.
My name is Mikhaila Chetty, and I've been awarded an ICCR scholarship in the year of 2015 to study my BSc Biotechnology Honours in University of Bardwan. I successfully completed my honours with good grades and flying colours and learned many things apart from biotechnology. I've achieved many life skills in those 3 years. I've achieved many good friends and many good contacts through the help of ICCR. I further applied for another ICCR scholarship and achieved my MSc in Goa University. I'm currently pursuing the end of my first year, and I will move on to semester 3. We are under the director of Professor Rahul Tripathi, the foreign advisor, and Mr. Sudeshan Shetty, the regional officer for Goa. And Goa has taught me many things, staying in hostel, completing an MSc degree, learning a lot about life, gaining perspective, gaining an opinion.
I was blessed enough to be one of their scholars who received the fully funded scholarship to study in India from 2014 to 2017. So today I'm just going to share with you my experiences in India and how it changed my life. So I applied and I was accepted to study in Koti Women's College under Osmani University. Yes, India takes pride in making sure that they cater for women and children. So we had schools for girls, colleges for women And we had hospitals, clinics for women and children. We had banks and ATMs strictly for women, shops for women. We had salons for women, you name it. We were really catered for as women. And also even at the buses, a bus had 2 parts and 2 slides. So the back was for men and the front was for women. It doesn't matter how packed the back was, and no matter how empty the front is, men were not allowed to even enter through our slide. So it was that like safe for women, you know. And also men, like strangers on the street, were not allowed to address me with any other name except for madam or ma'am, you know, to show the level of respect. So obviously because it's a really, really great opportunity. Grab it with both hands. Considering that everything is paid for, why wouldn't you? From the flights to your accommodation, your food, electricity, and everything is paid for. As long as you behave yourself, you do well in your studies, and you come back home. That's all they ask from you, honestly. To represent South Africa. Do well. Be known, you know, be known for your good deeds everywhere you go. And trust me, it's that easy to survive. So guys, happy 70th Foundation Day. And I hope everyone is keeping well at home. You are taking the necessary precautions of staying safe. And I really, really hope we all make it safe. That is from me today, and bye-bye.
Thank you so much, ladies, for that very, very inspiring insight on what it is to be a student of ICCR. To know more about our scholarship, please go into our portal to view all further information required. Next, we have another dance item by a fellow scholar of ICCR, Mr. Niveshan Munsami. Thank you so much, Niveshan ji, for that beautiful piece. Next, I hand you over to my esteemed colleague who's going to woo you with her beautiful voice. She is Miss Kavita Solanki, who will be rendering a beautiful song. Miss Kavita Solanki.
Namaskar everyone. Now enjoy the beautiful song. निर्माणों के पावन युग में हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले, स्वार्थ साधना की आंधी में वसुधा का कल्याण न भूले, हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले। मानागम अगाध सिंधु है, संघर्षों का पार नहीं है, किंतु डूबना मझधारों में साहस को स्वीकार नहीं है। जटिल समस्या सुलझाने को नूतन अनुसंधान न भूले, हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले। शील विनय आदर्श श्रेष्ठता तार बिना झनकार नहीं है, शिक्षा क्या स्वर साध सकेगी यदि नैतिक आधार नहीं है। कीर्ति कौमुदी की गरिमा में संस्कृति का सम्मान न भूले, हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले। आविष्कारों की कृतियों में यदि मानव का प्यार नहीं है, सृजनहीन विज्ञान व्यर्थ है, प्राणी का उपकार नहीं है। भौतिकता के उत्थानों में जीवन का उत्थान न भूले, हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले। निर्माणों के पावन युग में हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले, स्वार्थ साधना की आंधी में वसुधा का कल्याण न भूले, हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले, हम चरित्र निर्माण न भूले। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Kavita ji, for that beautiful song. To conclude today's program, we'd like to now call upon our director at the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Dr. Prakash Yogi for his remarks.
नमस्कार। श्री कृष्णन अय्यर जी, पुरुषका पत्तर जी, शिष्टी जी, शैरिल जी, कविता जी, all distinguished guests, audience who are watching our program, and our off-screen collaborator Shri Piyush Khandelwal ji. Today, when we are celebrating ICCR Foundation Day, then we are not celebrating a special day of an organization which is doing some activities and some programs for promoting Indian culture. But really, we are celebrating the sense of culture itself, which is discovered by humanity as its best discovery of the life. When we are discussing about culture, then according to our academic and educational understanding of culture, we are feeling that we are having many cultures, and cultures are different and separate from each other. And we need to respect each other's culture. And we need to understand and learn about the other cultures. And we feel that there are different cultures, and because of different cultures, we are having many contradictions, clashes, and conflicts in this world. And in the name of culture, many people are understanding that they are different from each other. And they are feeling the sense of otherness among human society. They are feeling who are not related to my culture is other. And I need to be separated from these people because they are not representing my culture. But when we are discussing about Indian culture, then we are not discussing about the culture of one country, one society, one community, and one section of the humanity. But we are really discussing, understanding, exploring, and experimenting with the sense, which can make all world one, and giving us a sense of oneness rather than any separateness, segregation, and differentiation. So when ICCR is saying that we are believing in the ancient Indian philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, means word is family, then it is not like making everybody under our umbrella and not to make them working under one culture and not to be dominated by Indian culture only, but it is the sense of celebration of diversity and uniqueness. And when we are saying diversity, then automatically we are saying uniqueness. They are complementary to each other. Uniqueness itself is giving you sense of creativity, sense of your self-exploration, which is making you beyond identity and making you able to encroach every barrier and boundary which is created by human ignorance. So when I am talking about culture here on ICCR Foundation Day celebration, then me myself is understanding it as a celebration of the sense of culture, which is giving the strength and capacity to every human being to become one to all, and feeling that sense which is making him able to embrace everybody without having any sense of discrimination and differentiation. When we are feeling that segregation and differentiation which is available on surface is futile, it is only to play with the word. It is not really anything which is related to truth. Truth itself, which we all are carrying, is one. And that oneness, that sense of oneness, is giving us the capacity to say that word is family. It is not a slogan. It is not a philosophical line which can be announced as a superiority complex that we know more better than you. It is not a hegemony of any knowledge empire, but it is a sense which is to be explored by everyone as the ultimate exploration of human being. That at the level of truth, we all are one. And that separation, segregation, differentiation, discrimination, which we are always using, is only for the playfulness, for the interestingness, and for the entertainment of this life. It is not a serious kind of real thing which should be understood as a static phenomena or as a fixed kind of understanding. So when we all are here in this program and we are representing many ethnic identities and geographical introductions and many social backgrounds. But through this program, when we are talking about culture, we are talking about the sense of world is family, then we are feeling that we all are one. And through this oneness, only we can create peace and harmony in our society. Peace and harmony is not also bookish kind of thing. It is not a theoretical kind of thing. When we were watching some cultural programs today in this program, we were observing some cultural performances. Then we were feeling that sense in which we were losing our outer identity consciousness. And we were approaching to the inner consciousness in which we are already one. We need not to announce it as a newer phenomena. We need not to understand it as an outside kind of borrowed information. But we are already having that capacity to realize, to experience, to feel that oneness which is given to us by the nature. It is a natural thing. It is not anything which is invented by human being. Human being only discovered it. And coincidentally, it was discovered in India in ancient times. They felt that we are able to being assimilated in all, and we are able to assimilate every entity in ourselves. So these were rishis, these were munis, these were ascetics, these were poets, these were great philosophers, but these were great people in terms of their humility, in terms of their emptiness, in terms of their egolessness, in terms of their capacity of not being burdened by any knowledge which can make them superior to others. But they were feeling that if they are able to dissolve their entity into the ocean of love and harmony, then they can get that kind of destination to which they took birth on this earth. So when they were saying what is family, they were feeling simultaneously at the same time that the world around them is extension of them, and they are extension of this world. So they were feeling that human being is a unit of that universal consciousness. We all are representative of this universal consciousness, and that universal consciousness is only the culture. So when we are saying about culture, that is not which is to be expressed in certain kind of dance, music, and art form, but that forms which are getting energy, which are getting strength, power, and, and the capacity of being expressed is only the source which can be considered, which can be known as culture. So ICCR itself is doing a lot of activities and conducting many programs all over the world to inculcate, invoke that universal consciousness among humanity. And today, when we are celebrating ICCR Foundation Day, then we are celebrating this sense of universal consciousness to get peace, harmony, love, affection, connectedness, and capacity of being assimilated into all. And through this program, we are only trying to share that sense which is making all of us one and making us able to know that every otherness which is imposed on us is futile only. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your concluding remarks. To come to the end of today's program, I will now be rendering the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank my director, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi, for his vision, for his inputs, and for making this program possible. My esteemed colleagues, Ms. Cheryl Banwal and Ms. Kavita Salanki, for their inputs and all their hard work as well. Our guest speakers, Mr. Krishnan Nair, Ms. Varushka Patra, our cultural performers, Ms. Shanice Naika, Ms. Kranti Singh, and Mr. Niveshan Munsami, our ICCR scholars, Ms. Tembile Buttalezi, Mr. Pilile Tembeka Tembe, Ms. Mikhaila Chetty, to the gentleman who makes this program possible, Mr. Piyush Khandewal, for all your technical support. And most of all, thank you to our audience members and our guests. Please don't forget to like all our social media platforms to stay tuned to what's happening next at SVCC. With that concluding, I'd like to say to you all to be safe, stay home, and stay blessed. Namaskar. Shubh.
Thank you.